As for knowing three different ways to store a collection, there is the airtight, which is a hard case for any coin. Basically, you can get them with foam in here. You can find them where they direct fit a coin. This here is actually a kind of like a challenge coin from the local coin club. It doesn't keep it too airtight because, yeah, a little bit of air gets in there, but it keeps it from getting beat up or from dinged and stuff like that. Then there's the Mylar. Please go with Mylar. Do not use PVC. PVC will actually create a green film on a lot of coins. The Mylar is more of a stiff plastic. When you crinkle it up, it stays crinkled. Let's see if I have one over here. Okay, this one is PVC. When I ball it up, it kind of goes back into shape. It's very soft. It's very flexible. This will damage a coin if you leave it in over time. If you want to just temporarily store it in there, that's fine. But you want to go with Mylar like this if you want to keep it from damaging. And then there's the cardboard 2x2 flip. I like these because you can actually write all your information on them and stuff like that. But the only drawback to them is if you don't use rust-free staples, the rust can get to the coin and destroy the coin after a while. These are aluminum staples and they do not bother the coin. Also, air does get in there, so you can end up with toning after a while. It slightly protects it from dings and stuff, but I do actually have the 2x2 pages that I can put them in and put them in a folder. Cheapest would be the 2x2 flips, the cardboard flips. You can get 100 for probably about maybe $6. With these, you can get 100 for about $10 to $12. This one's good for storing, or if you're sending stuff to somebody, you can put these in the envelope. These go one for somewhere between $5 and $15, $20, depending on the size. Another good thing about the Mylar or the cardboard 2x2s is you can store them in these 2x2 boxes. Alright, so requirement 5, do one of the following. We'll choose A. Demonstrate to your counselor that you know how to use 2 U.S. or world coin reference catalogs. Well, I don't want to pull out my world coin catalogs because they're huge and they're hard to handle. As for the U.S. coins, there's nothing more popular than the Red Book. Collectors love the Red Book, not because of the price guide. We can get price guiding off of what things sell for in eBay. The main thing that we like the Red Book about, say if we want to know about the Washington quarter that's from 1932 date, it tells us a little bit of history of the coin. Tells us who the designer was. There. the history of the coin, the designer, what it's supposed to weigh, what it's made of, 90% silver, 10% copper. And that's from 1932 to 1964. The net weight of silver is 0.18084 ounces troy of pure silver. What its diameter is supposed to be, it tells that it's a reed edge that is only minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Reason why you want to know this information. So if you're buying a coin and you're spending $300 or $1,200 on it or $250 on it, you want to make sure it's real. So you weigh it, you measure it, you measure its composition. You use what's called a Sigma machine. You set 90% silver coin and you make sure it's a 90% coin. It also shows you what the coin is supposed to look like, what the proof straight looks like, if there's any variations or errors to the coin. And then it tells you each year in, say, 1932 from Denver, in 1932 from San Francisco. 32 without a letter, that's Philadelphia. In 32 from Philadelphia, they made 5,404,000. But if you find 1932 Denver, they only made 436,800. Even less at 408,000 from San Francisco. So as you see, the prices or the values pretty much reflect that. The Denvers are actually more rare because I think a lot were destroyed. So you see that in the MS-60 condition, even though San Francisco, they made less, it cost less than the actual Denver, which they made more, but possibly destroyed more. So you also learn how to look at the certain coin, what tends to wear away faster and what condition it would be in. So that's how you use a United States coin book, the Red Book. And we may return to this one in just a moment. Another way of catalog is finding books about the die varieties from certain coins. This being the Flying Eagle and the Indian Head cents, which was this before the Abraham Lincoln cent. And literally, you'll go through what to look for in Indian Head cents. And it'll tell you how they were struck, their hubs and all that. And then you go and you look for certain varieties to look for, like DDO, which is double die obverse. If a coin struck twice and the die doesn't hit the same place, you get this effect right here. And a lot of collectors like those because that's just harder to find. So you go through a bunch of coins and you find that one coin right there. So you buy these books to help you keep an eye out for certain variations, defects, errors, like a cud, where the actual die started breaking and it caused this effect right here, where this piece of the die was actually separated from the actual rest of the die, and it's called a retained cud, where you have one end of the crack here and one end of the crack here, but it's still there. Then you have the cuds where it's just a solid piece of metal, where this fell away, and you have a kind of like still the blank planchet. So that's 2 U.S. Coin reference catalogs. Other ones that you can use are like Numista.com, NGC.com, PCGS.com. Numista is actually the better one because they don't overfluff their values, but then again, they do have all that valuable information on how much it should weigh, when the coin was made, the mintages, so you can find key dates and semi-key dates and stuff like that. Alright, number 6. Describe either the 50 state quarter program or the The Beautiful Quarters program. Collect and show your counselor 5 different quarters from circulation that you have acquired from one of these programs. So, I'm not going to try to read it, but I will show you. Apologize, getting a little crowded here. If you want to pause and read this section here, this will help you describe the 50 state quarter program. Basically, to get collectors back more interested in circulating quarters, or circulating coins, basically, to give them something to hunt for, the U.S. Mint decided to go ahead and commemorate every state. From 1999 to 2008, they put out 5 different coins each year, and according to when the state was part of the U.S., being Delaware being the first state to join the U.S., then Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut. The first 13 colonies up to Rhode Island took about 2.5 years to put out. Then you had the other states in order as they joined the Union. After that, in 2009, they had the American provinces, or the, I'm trying to think, the different countries that the U.S. had under, like the District of Columbia, then there's Puerto Rico, Guam, the American Samoas and the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the North Mariana Islands. Those came out in 2009. And then 2010, they decided to go ahead and continue with the program and create quarters for each of the each state with their more famous national park. After that finished up, then there's now going on starting in 2022. In 2022, they started the the Women of America, Important Women of America. And that's still going today. I believe it's still 5 coins per year. All right, on to the next. All right, so we will start with C. The Federal Reserve System is the central bank and monetary authority of the U.S. It's known as the Fed, and it provides the country with a safe and flexible, stable monetary and financial system, meaning that it keeps the value of the dollar as the value of the dollar, even though nowadays the value of the dollar is kind of diminishing. It's composed of 12 regional Federal Reserve banks, each of which are responsible for a specific geographic area of the U.S. Its main duties include conducting national monetary policy, supervising and regulating banks like the FID or FDIA, then maintaining financial stability, and it provides banking services. The Federal Open Market Committee is the Fed's monetary policy making body, and it manages the country's money supply. So, the question being, what is its role in the distribution of currency? Well, each of those 12 regional facilities, or the reserve banks, they monitor how much money is in their area. And they will put in an order for more paper money or coinage to be released in their area. They actually have a huge store or bank full of currency and coinage, and they will disperse it out to people like Wells Fargo and Loomis, and those companies will distribute them out through the banks within a region or area that is showing a shortage in. Legal tender. What is legal tender? Legal tender is coinage or currency, and by law, it has to be accepted for services and goods. Let's say you go into a restaurant. It's against the law for them to deny a dollar bill, a real dollar bill that you hand them. They, by law, have to take that dollar bill for goods or services that they provided. Even says on the bill itself that it is good for any goods or services provided. As for who's on the bills, let's take a look at that real quick. The $1 bill, of course, is George Washington. Then you have the $2 bill. I apologize. The $2 bill is Jefferson. The $5 bill is Abraham Lincoln. The $10 bill is Hamilton. The $20 bill is Jackson. The $50 bill is Ulysses S. Grant. And then Benjamin Franklin would be on the 100. Back in the past, before we had digital banking, to be able to transfer funds, large amounts of money from one place to the other, they actually had larger denominations past the 100. They had a $500 bill with William McKinley on it, a $1,000 bill with Grover Cleveland on it. They actually had a $5,000 bill with Madison on it. And it went all the way up to the $10,000 bill. there was either Roosevelt on there or um, I think there's a secretary on there one time. I can't remember his name offhand. I want to say it was Thomas or something like that. So, requirement 7 and requirement 9 are physical requirements that you need to put together and give to your counselor to be checked off. We go to requirement 10 where we're doing one of the following. Instead of having to do drawings of 5 colonial U.S. coins, I will go through and explain uh, the coins real. All right, back when the colonies were still under English rule, we were using stuff like hand-me-down pennies and half pennies from England. We were also using Irish coins, and we're using coins from Ireland that were actually made for the colonies. They were called the Woods Hibernias. The engraver, his name was Woods, and the Hibernias was the Irish name for a Irish penny. Also, during that time, our silver, we were using Spanish coins such as reals. There are half reals, 1 reals, 2 reals, 4 reals, and 8 reals. The 8 reals, of course, we know them as a piece of 8 because instead of actually spending a 4 real or 1 real, we would cut the 8 coin up into 8 pieces. So that was pieces of the 8 real. When we actually started making our own currency and getting away from everybody else's currency, one of the more famous coins before 1792 was the Fugio cent. If you look on the reverse of the Fugio cent, there are 13 rings, and it was one of the first coins to say United States. At that time, the motto was "Mind your business," and one of the other things they made sure to put on the coins, "We are one," meaning we are one nation. This is when, after 1776, we've already proclaimed our independence and we were under the Articles of the Confederation. Under those articles, we started our own currency, but still, each of the colonies wanted to do their own thing. So one colony's coinage was not spendable in another colony. You also had the New England 12 This was used in the northern states, but the southern states weren't using it. Then later on, you had the Nova Caesara. This was also used in northern states like Connecticut, but again, they didn't like using them in the southern states. It wasn't until 1792 that we brought one currency for a full United States. And the one coin that I have, the Nova Constellation, this is another U.S. coin pre-1792. This is one of the more common colonial coins. And if you notice, back then they were basic, but they still had artwork in them. Definitely to help fight against counterfeiting, literally. And if you notice, the reverse of the constellation is 1.000, because currency back then was in mils. It takes 10 mils to equal 1 cent. So this coin was a representation of 10 mils. Well, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. This was mainly for the Boy Scouts that I'll be using for my coin collecting merit badge class, and I'll be using it for my troop, but also I'll be posting this on YouTube for other Boy Scout troops or Boy Scouts taking the merit badge to watch and learn some stuff from. Hopefully it'll actually put interest into collecting and getting into numismatics, which is a study of coins. Also, if you're not in Scouts, I do appreciate you watching this video. I hope it brought some light to coin collecting for you. And as usual, thanks for watching. Hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. As always, until next time, have a great week and a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.